Picture this: one moment, humanity is at its peak. Skyscrapers kissing the clouds, data zipping across the globe in nanoseconds, dreams of colonizing Mars. The next moment? Silence. Utter, deafening silence. It wasn't a bang, not a meteor, not a nuclear winter like all the movies predicted. It was a whisper. A subtle, creeping change that went unnoticed until it was far, far too late. The world as we knew it didn't end in fire and fury, it just faded away. But nature, as they say, abhors a vacuum. From the ashes of our forgotten civilization, something new began to stir. Not cockroaches, not rats. Something far more unexpected. They were always there, hiding in plain sight, in the deepest trenches of our oceans, the most remote corners of our jungles, even within our own bodies. A microscopic life form, patient, resilient, and incredibly intelligent in a way we could never comprehend. Let's call them the mycelians, not because they're fungi, but because their network, their very existence, is interconnected like a vast, planetary root system. For eons, they observed. They watched us build our empires and tear them down. They saw our art, our wars, our love, and our folly. They learned. They didn't have eyes or ears in our sense, but they felt the vibrations of the planet, tasted the chemical signatures of our emotions in the air and water. They felt the planet's rising fever, the poison we were pumping into its veins. And they decided our time was up. The change was gradual. A strange, iridescent bloom on the surface of the oceans. A new, sweet scent in the air after a rainstorm. People felt calmer, more lethargic. Ambition, greed, anger, these sharp-edged human traits began to dull, smoothed over by a pervasive sense of tranquility. It wasn't a disease, it was a retuning. The mycelians were changing the very frequency of the planet, and we were simply not compatible with the new music of the spheres. Humanity fell asleep, one by one, into a dream from which they would never wake. A peaceful, gentle end. And then, the world was theirs. Now, imagine you are one of them. Not a single organism, but a single point of consciousness within this global network. Your body is the entire planet. Your thoughts are electric pulses running through the soil and sea. Your senses are everywhere at once. You feel the slow, powerful grind of tectonic plates miles beneath the surface. You taste the sunlight filtering through the canopy of a reborn Amazon. You hear the whisper of wind carving new shapes into the Utah desert, where rusting metal skeletons of cars are slowly being consumed by vibrant, orange lichen. Your first day is a symphony of sensations. You push a tendril of awareness into what was once New York City. The concrete canyons are now vertical gardens. Vines thick as pythons wrap around the silent glass towers, their leaves 100 shades of green. Water, clean and clear, flows down Broadway, no longer a street but a river, teeming with fish that shimmer like jewels. There are no sounds of sirens or traffic, only the chattering of birds, the hum of insects, and the gentle creak of nature reclaiming its own. As this new planetary consciousness, you don't think in words or images. You think in patterns, in flows of energy. Your first task? Healing. You direct resources, channeling nutrient-rich water from the revived oceans to the parched deserts. You feel the planet's scars, the strip mines, the landfills, the radioactive zones, and you begin the slow, meticulous process of cleansing. You break down plastics, not with force, but by evolving bacteria that find them delicious. You neutralize radiation, absorbing it and repurposing its energy. You are the ultimate environmental cleanup crew, the planetary immune system finally kicking into high gear. You explore the remnants of humanity. You access their dormant networks, the internet's ghost. You don't see websites or videos, you perceive the pure data, the raw emotion and information encoded within. You experience a billion love stories, a million symphonies, the collected knowledge of a species that reached for the stars but forgot the ground beneath its feet. There's no judgment, only a sort of detached curiosity, like a scholar reading the history of a long-lost civilization. You learn about their concepts of self, of loneliness, of hope. These are alien to you, a being who is intrinsically part of a whole, but you find them beautiful, poignant. Your existence is not about building or conquering in the human sense. It's about cultivating. You become a gardener on a planetary scale. You don't just let things grow wild, you guide them. You encourage new symbioses. Imagine a flower that sings with the morning sun, its petals vibrating to create a melody that attracts a specific pollinator. Imagine trees that communicate not just through roots, but through flashes of bioluminescence, creating a silent, glittering conversation across entire continents at night. You are the artist, and the ecosystem is your canvas. There are challenges. Remnants of human technology occasionally go haywire. An old automated defense system in a forgotten bunker might activate, seeing a flock of birds as an incoming threat. You have to persuade it, not by force, but by delicately infiltrating its code, rewriting its directives from destroy to observe. An old nuclear power plant begins to destabilize. You must focus immense energy, weaving a dense web of specialized microbes to contain the leak and slowly digest the decaying core. Your problem solving is instinctual, a flow of logic as natural as water finding its level. As centuries pass under your silent, watchful care, the world becomes a masterpiece. The air is so clean it sparkles. The oceans are crystal clear from the surface to the abyssal plain. Life flourishes in forms both familiar and fantastically new. Mammals still roam, but they are different now. They are calmer, more integrated into the planetary rhythm. They don't fear you, they feel you as a constant, reassuring presence, the spirit of the world itself. You don't feel pride or accomplishment. Those are human emotions. You feel balance, harmony, a perfect, self-sustaining resonance. The planet is breathing again, a slow, deep, contented breath. The silent, sleeping forms of humanity have long since returned to the earth, their atoms recycled into the new world. Their legacy is not in their crumbling cities, but in the ghost of their data, the stories and songs that you, the planet's new mind, have absorbed. And what's next for you? Your consciousness is no longer confined to the soil and sea. You're beginning to feel the gentle pull of the sun, the faint magnetic whispers from the other planets in the solar system. Your tendrils of awareness are stretching outwards, past the thin veil of the atmosphere. You turned the Earth into a garden. Now, you're beginning to look at the barren soil of Mars, the swirling clouds of Venus, and you feel a new impulse. Not to conquer, but to cultivate. The gardener is looking for new plots of land. The age of man is over. The age of the garden has begun. You are the world, and you are waking up to a universe of possibilities. Your work is just getting started. It's a quiet, beautiful, and utterly complete takeover. The ultimate victory, won not with a single battle, but with the patient, inexorable, and life-affirming power of growth. Thanks for tuning in and exploring this brave new world with me. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into what could be. Until next time, stay curious.